ידיד הנפש עבר החמן משוך ידך אל רצונך יחרוצה ודך כמו הים ישתחווה מול הדרך ירדו ידידותך מנופץ ובכל קדם אדוני זיווה עולם נפשי חולה חולת ארצה אהנה אלנה רפנה לה ביערות לה נועם זיווה אז תתחזה תתרפא והייתה לה שמחת עולם ותקיימו נרחמך וחוסנה על פן האומה כי זה כמה נחשפתי לראות בתפארת עוזך אלך עמדה ליבי וחוסנה ואל תדלה ותקיימו נרחמך ופרוס תאיר הארץ מכבודך נגילה ונשמחה בך מהר לבוא כי במועד וחננו כי מעולם without a page. 10.
Hai lechon ranena l'Adonai Naria Ai letzo yisheinu nekad mapanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo ki el gadol אשר בידו מחרט את אבות הגילות ארבעים שנה אכות בדור עם טועי לבבים והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי באפי אם יבואו אל מנוחתי היי שירו לאדוני שיהיה חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו ספרו בגויים כבודו וכל עמים נבלעותה כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד ונורא הוא על כל אלוהים כי כל אלוהי העמים מרילים אדוני שמיים עשהו עוד והדר לפניו עוז ודיבר אשר בו, אז ירננו כל עצי יער, העולים בידוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט הבל וצדק וימים באמונתו. היי לה 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 יורוי לוי 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 לוי, היי לה לה יורוי לי לה לה, לה 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 לה. הו היי לה 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 היי 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 לה 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 לה
מזמור לדוד on 20.
Please rise. מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני לי. הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש.
seated, everybody. So it was a big week, yeah? And it was so much that I think inside of this Shabbat will necessitate processing how big the week was, because I think the feelings were so terrifying that inside of them it was hard to process, and now that the air has cleared, there's some room to do that. So we're going to make this prayer, the Ana B'Koach, and start to feel into that and feel what it feels like in the space of prayer to recall the feelings and see how the response should be, because I think there's a possibility of numbing to the devastation of the experience and the incapacity we feel at how big it is, and there's another response that we need to move towards. But first we'll make the prayer, and then we'll kind of meditate a little bit, and I'll read you something about clouds. Ana B'Koach on... Thanks, Rav Diane. 22.
Kahaber rina etamcha sabvenu tarenu nora. שומריהם בחרכם תעריהם רחמים צדקתך תמיד גומלים. חסי ברוב טובך יחיד גאה לעמך בום פני זוכרי קדושתך שבתנו קבל ושמע צעקתנו יודע אתה תעלומות פרוש כבו מלכותו לעולם ועד. If you're willing, I invite you to close your eyes. We draw in breaths together and we cherish the taste of fresh, clean air. With each breath, allow the clouds in the space of your mind to clear and expand. Allow your being to expand according to the mirror of the sky. I think there's a part of me that always wishes that the sky had no effect on my mood. I'm unperturbed by the mood of the sky. But maybe this week my mind changed and said, who am I to say no to the mirror of the sky? And so I went onto my bookshelf and found a new book from the French philosopher Gaston Bachelard, who took up each of the elements, and I took up his book on air, and I'm going to read you a short passage from it. But with each breath, feel into the visions of the images that he'll give us in the dual nature of the sky. Clouds, like those in the evil storm of Princess Melaine, do not need lightning or thunder to shake the cursed castle from basement to attic. A black cloud is enough to make unhappiness weigh down the whole universe. If we want to experience the feeling of suffocation created by a low-hanging sky, it is not enough to link the concepts of low and heavy. Imagination's participation is more personal. The heavy cloud feels like evil sent down from heaven, an evil that will overwhelm the dreamer and of which he may die. To understand the imaginary essence of the sickness brought on by heavy, low-hanging clouds, we must consider it in relation to the truly active function of the imagination of clouds. In its positive imaginary aspect, the function of the imagination of clouds is an invitation to ascend. Normal reverie follows the image as if it were a substantial rising that finally attains the highest sublimation by disappearing at the highest point in the blue sky. True clouds, little clouds, disappear in the heights. We cannot imagine a little cloud disappearing while it is falling. The little light cloud is the most regular and dependable theme of ascent. It is a constant reminder of sublimation. In William Blake's The Book of Thel, the little cloud says to the Virgin, "When I pass away, it is to tenfold life, to love, to peace, and raptures holy." The soul that dreams before a light cloud receives at once the image of effusive matter and the dynamic image of ascent. In such a reverie about losing a cloud in the blue sky, the dreamer participates with all his being in a total sublimation. It is truly the image of absolute sublimation. This is the ultimate voyage. We're caught between these two images of what the sky can do to us. It can expand our being to the utmost so that our identity fuses with the other beings of the world, and we are in touch with the identity that's most significant and the identity that's going to get us out of the predicament we're in. Or the sky can do what it did to us, and we can choose not to be numbed by it and choose the same response. Choose not to be numbed and say, I know what the sky can do. It can expand me. Lecha Dodi on 24.
Lecha Dodi Likat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Ushamor Zachor V'divu Echad Yishmianu El HaMeyuchad Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad L'Shem U'Tiferet Ve'Litila Lecha Dodi Chadoidi Yikat Kala Yikas Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavera Oh Likrat Shabbat Chumen El Chakim Mekor Haberach Merosh Mikedem Nesu Chasof Masei V'machshavat Chila Lecha Dodi Likat Kala Yikas Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela Ay Mikdash Melech Ir Meloch HaGomi Sei mitoch ha'afecha lalach shever yemei gavacha ve'or yachamol alayechem
Sing.
Alecha doini Likat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela show was I bever khato kol me mai sala ye lo hai kim so satan al kalo ai la 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 khado de ai la la ka kala ai la la bene shaba oh lo de kabelo ve yamin no small Please rise, Boi beshalom, ha'ateret bala, gam besimcha, uvetzohala, toch emunei, hamsekula, Boi chala, Shabbat HaMalka, hey,
Romemu, be seated. I'm going to sing a psalm for Shabbat on page 30. At home, we played Rosebud Thorn. So maybe you had a rose in your week, maybe you had a thorn in your week, and maybe you have a bud coming next week. So whisper your rosebud thorn to somebody after shul.
טוב להודו לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור ועלי נווה עלי היגיון בכינור כי שימחתני אדוני בפעליך במעשה ידיך ארנן la 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 try this with me la 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 li la 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 all together la 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 li la 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 צדיק אתה מרהיב כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים רעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי לא עלה תבור la 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 dilly la 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 together la 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 dilly la 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 la
It's my honor to invite up Rabbi Diane Kohler SS to welcome everybody and make some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Good Shabbos.
It's been a week, and it's so amazing to have this beautiful music. It feels like medicine for our souls, exactly when we need it. So I want to welcome new people in the room. Anyone new or anyone who hasn't been here in a long time and would like to say hello. And also welcome to everybody in the room and on Zoom. Yeah, let me give you this microphone if I can. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Joyce. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and now I'm born on the Upper East Side and grew up in Brooklyn, and now I live at the Jersey Shore, right near Asbury Park.
I know that area well. Anyone else new tonight? Or wants to say hello, hasn't been here for a long time?
Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Susan from Irvington, New York.
Welcome. Where are you pointing? Over there. Sorry, thank you, I thought.
My name's Zoe, born and raised on the Upper West Side.
Welcome.
Hi, it's Peter, Clayton, Elena, and Max. We've been members, but we haven't been to a Friday night service, just the holidays, and Max's bar mitzvah is tomorrow. So.
Everyone say, Mazel Tov.
Shalom, my name is Zachary. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm just here for a few days. Just came back from Israel.
Welcome, Zachary. A lot of new people today. I'm getting some exercise.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I live just down on 92nd Street.
Welcome, Beth.
Hi, my name is Eve, and I'm from Romemu, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yay. Yay for Romemu, Brooklyn. Okay, I think I got everybody. And now we have a few announcements. So we canceled July, and then people were kind of, we decided to have no services, so we could have like a respite and a Shemitah month. And then all of you were so unhappy that we uncanceled July. So we will see you in July. And welcome back, of course, to Zach Fredman and members of the Epic Chorus. I don't know your names.
Zafar and Phil.
Bill? Zafar. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for your music. And of course, thank you to Noah for his beautiful music as well. Happy Pride at Romemu. Romemu is a proud co-sponsor of Interfaith Alliance's initiative Faith for Pride, combating anti-LGBTQ+ rhetoric and legislation, and supporting grassroots organizations that work with LGBTQ communities. Visit interfaith.org Pride to learn more. Okay, we made great progress on the CARE Act and have more social action opportunities coming up. You'll hear about that later at dinner. And Tal Siegel is here, who's been spearheading with Aya, they're pointing at each other, the effort. There are many benefits to membership, but the impact of your support is far more impactful than what you receive. Join or renew before the end of this month. 2, lock in current rates. Sounds like a mortgage, right? Ensure you are among the first to be able to reserve tickets for the High Holy Days. And most importantly, ensure that we all benefit from having you as a member of the community. Finally, join us tomorrow for Open Book, Parsha class, 8:45 for the early birds, and Shabbat services at 10 a.m. And that's, yeah. I will announce it at dinner. Okay, and now to
Thanks,
continue
Rav.
with our services.
Continue with the Baruch on page 31.
את אדוני האדם המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
אתה אדוני יוצא המאורות אהבת עולם בית ישראל. Page 36. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. אלי אלי אלי
Be seated. Let's take a breath in together before the Shema and try and find a point of pure stillness. Try and find your most still point. Breathe in. One more time, breath in together.
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך.
והיו הדברים האלה
אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושלתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Yichamocha on 48. Bahelim Adonai,
Bahelim Adonai,
Mihi Chamocha,
Mihi Chamocha,
Neder Bakodesh,
Neder Bakodesh,
Nahora, Tehilo,
Tehilo,
מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ואמרו Adonai Imrov,
Adonai Imrov,
Leolam Hoeh,
Leolam
La la la, Ya la 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 la, La 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 la,
La 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 la,
La 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 la,
La 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 la,
Ya la la la. אתה אדוני,
אתה אדוני,
גל ישראל,
ישראל.
Ufros will make a prayer for peace on page 49. ופרוץ עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך להושיע ופרוץ עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך להושיענו. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך להושיע.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ועל ירושלים, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ילמד עברה קריאותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעולמי עולמיה יתברך וישתבח יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריבו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה להמירן בעולמה and let us say Amen.
Silent Amidah can be found on the following pages. Make a prayer for healing. There's someone in your life in need of healing. Pray for a world in need of healing. There's a yearning for regeneration inside of us. We make the prayers that that yearning wins out. Fatziriel neman ki atrofa huma adroshi shorchal shivetel koach lenafshi betach sheha harachamim שוכן במרומי עליו דח שימה חזדך ממרחם בלעדך אל החיר אצא תפילתי חושה לעזרתי במהרה דרור קרא להר בין הגבירה בטח שערי רחמים רם שוכן במרומים עליו דחסים חזדה אין מרחם בלעד
Meditating recently on knowing and not knowing, or not wanting to know. It began last weekend. I was on a retreat with a group of people. We've been meeting for years. It's a Jewish feminist spiritual retreat. And during the retreat, two people from the group, Joelle Novi, a climate activist, and Judith Plaskow, some of you have heard of her, a theologian, a Jewish theologian, led a session on, not surprisingly, climate theology. During the session, the topic of not wanting to know came up. At some point, I raised my hand and I confessed, I don't want to know. Joelle looked at me and she said, if someone you loved were suffering, and she was comparing someone I loved to the planet, wouldn't you want to know? At this, I teared up and said, no, I wouldn't. Before you think me too hard-hearted, let me explain. In February of 2018, my 16-year-old daughter developed progressively worsening headaches and nausea. After 3 visits to the emergency room, she was finally admitted. They kept telling us that she had migraines, but they kept not testing her. Then, while I was sitting by her bed, she started having seizures right before my eyes. I ran out of the room screaming, and a team of doctors ran into the room. They took her for brain scans and discovered that she had a tumor growing through her nose into her brain. I will tell you now that I could not believe that what was happening was happening. I did not want to know what I knew. All I wanted to do was stick my head in the sand and pretend things were normal. But I couldn't, at least not entirely. I had to be awake and aware and pay attention and get my daughter the best treatment possible. So my husband and I stood by her during 6 rounds of chemotherapy and 6 weeks of radiation simultaneous with the chemotherapy and 2 rounds of immunotherapy. Thank God my daughter survived. But I will tell you again, even though I did absolutely everything I could to be by her side, and we were, and get her the best treatment possible, and we did, I did not want to know the pain of what was happening. I could not stand to see her suffer. My friends would say to me during this period, and they were amazingly supportive, you can come and cry on my shoulder. And I said, no, I don't want to. If I had any spare time, all I wanted to do was watch TV. I wanted to go numb, not know. I think I was afraid that if I stopped to feel, I would melt into a puddle of grief at seeing the suffering of my beloved daughter. I would no longer be able to go on and do what I had to do. People during this period would say I was strong, but what I was doing was just surviving and trying to ensure that my daughter would survive. Which brings us, of course, to this week. The smoke from Quebec and what it did to this city made it impossible not to know what is happening to our planet. It brought it close and intimate as our very breath. The fact that the planet is heating up and contributing to the frequency and intensity of forest fires, the fact that there are no real borders when it comes to climate crisis, and that this is a global and interconnected problem, this week was in our faces, in our noses, and in our lungs, up close, personal, and so scary. The fires burning in Quebec brings me unbelievably right to the fire burning in our Parsha, in this week's portion, Baha'alotcha. In our Parsha, the Israelites are finally getting organized and getting ready to move forward. And suddenly that forward motion is interrupted by complaint. Now, the Israelites have a habit of complaining. If you've ever read the Torah, you know that. If you've ever hung around Jews, you also know that. And what's interesting about complaint in the Torah is that it seems to happen at liminal moments. When the people leave Egypt, right before the Red Sea, on the other side of the Red Sea, when they're already liberated, they're complaining about water and then complaining about food. So here in our Parsha, they're ready to go forward. In Numbers 11, it says that they are complaining bitterly in the ears of God. Vayehi ha'am kemit onanim ra be'oznei Hashem. And God heard and became angry, and a fire of Adonai broke out against them, ravaging the outskirts of the camp. Vayishma Adonai vayichar apo, v'tiv'ar bam esh Adonai, v'tochal b'ksei hamachaneh. And after they complain, they're not done. They begin to have powerful cravings for meat. I was a vegetarian for years, and then I became pregnant, and I wanted meat, which unhinged my vegetarian journey for a little while. The riffraff, as it says, in their midst, felt a gluttonous craving, and then the Israelites also wept and said, "Who will feed us meat? V'ha'asafsuf asher b'kerbo hitavu ta'ava." Vayeshuvu vayivku gam b'nei Yisrael vayomru mi ya'achilenu basar. Complaint in the Torah is like the DNA of the Israelites. But what's interesting here is the way they're yearning for Egypt and the way they, right after this craving, right? It says in the Torah, we remember the fish we used to eat free in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions and the garlic. Zacharnu et hadaga asher nochal b'Mitzrayim chinam, et hakishuim, et ha'avatachim, ve'et hachatzir, ve'et habitzalim, ve'et hashumim. Wait a second. Cucumbers, melon, leek, onions, garlic, they were slaves. What's going on here? But they remember Egypt as if it were a luxurious home where they were coddled and nurtured. Why do they keep yearning for Egypt? Why do they want to keep going back? I think this is a threefold response: complaint, craving, and wanting to go backwards. which function here precisely to keep them in a state of not knowing. What don't they want to know? The pain of the past, 200 years and some say 400 years of slavery, of the anxiety of inhabiting the unknown place of the wilderness, and just not wanting to know that they are adults and they are about to move into the promised land and be free and independent. Look at the way they say, Mi ya'achilenu, like, who will feed us meat? They're regressing. They don't want adult knowledge. They're afraid and alone in the wilderness. They are even afraid of the divine power that liberated them, because that same power destroyed, devastated, and plagued their masters. That same power is a power that often, frequently, gets mad at them. And they don't understand that flimsy promise of the promised land. Eretz Zavat, Chalav, and Davash, a land flowing with milk and honey. What are you talking about, God? We didn't see that land. We don't know what you're saying. Of course they complain. Of course they crave. Of course they yearn for the past. They don't want to be where they are. They don't want to know the pain and the fear. It's kind of like us, having just come through, sort of, we're not exactly on the other side, a pandemic in which more than 6 million people across the globe have perished, and inhabiting a planet at risk where more and more people are suffering and even dying from conditions related to climate change. If we stop and feel and listen, we might sense planet Earth herself crying out. We might feel overwhelmed with grief and fear. We might find it hard to go forward. Moses, too, is in a moment of desperation in the Parsha. Maybe like us, he is standing in the wilderness, feeling alone and abandoned. And from that place, he asks for help. He cries out to God. He says, I cannot carry all these people by myself, for it is too much for me. Lo uchal anochi levadi, laset et kol ha'am hazeh, ki kaved mimeni. It's too heavy. I can't take this burden. And if you will deal with me thus, he says to God, kill me rather, I beg you, and let me see no more of my wretchedness. He feels so alone and so out of his depth, he cannot bear it. He would rather die. And I know sometimes we feel that way. We can't face it. We don't want to go on in this world. Moses cannot do it alone. He is unwilling to bear the burden alone, and God hears him. God gives him this extraordinary gift. He spreads Moshe's spirits to 70 elders so that he is not standing alone with his prophetic knowledge. He doesn't have to know it alone. Maybe this is the key right here. Maybe we will have the capacity to know more when we face it together. If we weren't alone in the terrible knowledge, with this terrible knowledge. And when I say no, I don't only mean the facts and the figures. I don't only mean information, which is of course important and crucial. I mean knowing that we've hurt the planet, that people are already suffering from the damage wreaked by generations of human negligence and exploitation, that people we love are suffering, that our children and grandchildren will suffer more than we are, that all of us are at risk. And I know many of you here and online are already doing this work and showing us the way. During the Holocaust, there was an amazing diarist named Etty Hillesum. She died in Auschwitz at the age of 28 in 1943. And she shows us in her writing how to feel in terrible and terrifying conditions. She writes, At night, as I lay in the camp on my plank bed, surrounded by women and girls gently snoring, dreaming aloud, quietly sobbing and tossing and turning, women and girls who often told me during the day, we don't want to think, we don't want to feel, otherwise we are sure to go out of our minds. I was sometimes filled with an infinite tenderness, and I prayed, let me be the thinking heart of the barracks, the thinking heart of a whole concentration camp. Dear God, let us be the thinking heart of these times. My blessing for all of us is that we are strong enough to be thinking hearts, because I believe that knowing and feeling is the place from which prophecy and action and healing springs. But are they? Somehow I refuse to feel when my daughter was sick and we got her through that time. Somehow we did it. So sometimes action comes without feeling, and maybe that is also enough. But here's what I've gleaned. There's something about feeling pain when we have the capacity to feel it, and I know we don't always. I'm still watching TV. That changes things. When I am willing to stand unencumbered by distraction, when I can take not being numb or craving or yearning for the past, and being willing to feel some measure of grief and fear, something opens up. Something becomes even more beautiful. Life becomes more real. 5 years ago, I felt like I couldn't survive and act and feel all at the same time. But now, more than 5 years later, after the nightmare that my family endured, I feel like I can begin to feel. And that if I do, it might bring me into a different, more connected, more interconnected place. Maybe, just maybe, there are gifts waiting for us when we're willing to live that way. Stand in truth, stand in feeling, stand in reality, stand in promise.
Please rise for the Mourner's Kaddish on 116. We invite into the room the presence of all those we've lost in the last days and weeks and months and years. We're on 116. I know it's our custom to usually go around, but we're going to call everybody's presence. If you'd like to whisper names, let's whisper names to the people in our midst. Yitgadal v'yitkadash mei rabah v'yalmad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayichon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'agala v'zman kariv v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevorach leolam lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechmata damiran bi'alma v'imru Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yako Yisrael v'imru Amen. Se shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yako Yisrael v'yako yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. May great peace flow like a fountain, comforting all of the mourners. May all of our beloveds come and be around us in times when we least expect it. We say Amen. Thank you, everybody, for beautiful Shabbos davening. We especially want to thank Nate and Victor and Blanca and Lenore and Freddie and Gil. Thank you, and Noah and we have something special. So thank you to Zafar and Phil for joining us, and thank you to Noah. But it's Noah's birthday, so on the count of 3, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Noah. Happy birthday to you. I think that's everything. Let's make Kiddush. We forgot to light the candles, so let's definitely make Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו ויעבר ברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Shabbos, everybody.